Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Our Voice 360, Our Perspectives, Our Ways. I'm your man, Chad Bumgarner, one half of the hosting crew here. I have with me my man, Pete Hunt, the other
Hey,
half.
what's good, family?
Hey, man, with that, let's go ahead and get into it.
And as always, our podcast is brought to you by Elect Graphics and Photography. Allow your visions to become reality. And CDB Consulting. Great leadership equals great results. How are you leading?
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if there's something you want to hear us debate or talk about on the podcast, or if you want to tell us how we're doing or how we can be doing better, anything, we want to hear the feedback from you guys so we can make this
Sure.
what you wanted. So please do not hesitate to contact us at our email address, ourvoice360 at gmail.com. That's ourvoice360 at gmail.com. All right, let's get into it. Today we're talking about the abortion topic, the hot topic down there in Florida, Texas, that is, yeah. Um, that's a very sensitive issue down there, not just
Mhm.
down in Texas, but period, because I guess depending on how this goes, it could, send shockwaves and threaten, the rest of our nation as we know it. So
Mhm.
we're going to touch on that. We're going to talk about that a little bit, and then we're also going to talk about Florida and the masking mandate issue down there. I know the governor down there, DeSantis rather, wanted to have it left up to the parents whether they want their kids to wear masks or not. And then, the government stepped in and is like, no, we need to mandate, the mask. But it seems like the DeSantis ban on school masks will remain in place. Seems like the appeals court sided with him, but we'll get into that. So, without further ado, Pete, let's go ahead and get into it. You want to go with the abortion bill first or the Florida masking issue? I
No,
mean,
we can do it. We can do either one. Let's go ahead and start with the abortion bill in Texas.
okay, let's do it. So Texas, they put this law into place to whereas women could not have an abortion. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pete. After 6 weeks,
Yes, sir. After 6 weeks.
right? And then
Right.
listening to since I'm not able and Pete is not able to have children,
All right.
seems like we would need to rely on the female or woman's perspective of this issue.
Mhm.
Now, listening to several women on different news networks, right and left, well, I shouldn't say right, but just different news networks, most of them are saying, from what I understand, that a lot of women don't even know that they're pregnant in the first 6 weeks.
Exactly.
You
Right.
know, by the
Mhm.
time they figure it out or even assume that they are, they're probably a couple of months, 2, maybe 3 months.
Mhm.
Okay. So along with this bill, it's banning women from having abortions after 6 weeks.
Mhm.
And that includes if you have been raped or if it's incest. That's also my understanding of the bill,
Yes,
which is
sir.
completely ludicrous. So now you're telling women that they don't have control of their bodies.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That that
Right.
that the government controls your body.
Mhm.
But I thought this was the land of the free. I don't know. Pete, what's your take on it? Because I mean, me, I'm a father of 3 girls.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm really and of course I have a wife, but even if I didn't have 3 girls,
Mhm.
even if I wasn't married,
Mhm.
I still feel like, you know, and as we all should, outraged about this.
Uh, it's real simple what this boils down to. Again, this boils down to white men trying to determine the lives of other people. That's what it boils down to. And honestly, it's a shame and it's a travesty because, again, whether you agree with abortion or you don't agree with abortion, it's up to the woman to choose what she wants to do with her body. If she chooses to have an abortion, that's on her. And I think that's only right. It's really funny to me how certain people want to control everybody else's life.
Now let me ask you this:
Yes,
does this come down to the browning of America? Basically what I'm saying is, are they doing this so that they can continue having offspring to represent white America? Because in the next 10 to 15 years, white people will be the minority, and the people of color here will be the majority. So is it fear that, if we allow abortions to happen, we run the risk, because they're already, and this is not a racist thing. This is, we're talking facts here. We're talking population. I just want to be clear with my
sir.
listeners. They, as in white people, are not populating as fast as people of color.
Mm-hmm.
Their population is vastly declining because they're not having enough kids.
No, that may have something to do with it, but for me, because it's gonna affect more people of color
Mm-hmm.
and poor people, poor
Mm-hmm. Of
white
course.
people than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because rich folk are still going to be able in Texas, still going to be able to get their abortions. You know that, right?
Well, there's a will,
You
there's a way.
their side pieces are going to
Mm.
still be able to get their abortions, right?
Yeah, some of them live
So
above the law. That's that. I mean, we
yeah,
all know that.
so we know who is still going to be able to get abortions, but it's funny. My thing is this: when some of these men that make these laws, when their daughters and granddaughters start popping out brown babies,
Mm.
I wonder if the law change. Oh, did I say that out loud? Did I say that out loud? When those folk that wants to control women's bodies, when some like I said, their daughters, their granddaughters start popping out some brown babies, where the laws change, you know. But that's neither here nor there. But again, it's about white men wanting to control other people. That's what this boils down to. And you would think that people would have empathy for women, especially if you're a governor that's wheelchair bound, and that you would think a person like that would, have empathy, but
Because you know what it's like to be discriminated against.
exactly. You you
Yes.
would you would you would think, but whew, that's another story. But it's not funny, but it's really sad that we are still in this place where people are still trying to control other people's, whether it's their livelihood, their bodies, whatever the case may be. But in this specific, we're talking about abortion. I mean, Chad, the law is even to the point where, like you said, if you get raped, or your uncle,
Incest. Yeah.
yeah, your uncle, rapes you, you can't get rid of the baby. You have to have it. And on top of that, they have deputized people
Mm-hmm.
and give basically a bounty. So are we in the wild, wild west? What are we doing?
Well, not only that, Pete, I think also with the bill, it says that even after 6 weeks, if the woman tries to get an abortion, let's say she tries to get an abortion within the 6 weeks, and the father doesn't approve, then he
Hmm.
could sue her or something to that effect.
Yeah, or he could. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, get the $10,000 bounty. That's that would be an incentive. So basically, what you're saying is, if a rapist could rape a woman,
Mm-hmm.
he could rape a woman, and then turn around and get paid.
Right.
If he says that the woman I raped got pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and she tries to have the baby aborted, and the rapist will get paid for that.
Right.
What?
How backwards is that?
What you are incentivizing
Yes.
basically a rape, not a rape culture, basically, if that happens.
And then on top of that, man, just to throw you a curveball, and it shouldn't really be a curveball, it should be blatantly obvious. But what is that saying? What is this law saying to young women? Period, regardless of your color. What
Yeah.
is the Texas government saying to women? You Stay in your
Basically,
place. This is your place.
yeah, in your property, basically.
This is your value. This
Yeah.
basically, I mean, that's how I look at it. Obviously, I'm not a woman, but that's how I
hmm
look at it. Looking at that law, it's like we're basically saying this is your value,
Right. Right.
which is sickening.
It, and it's so crazy that they interviewed the governor of Texas about, excuse me, mask mandates, and he had the nerve to say the people of Texas should have the right to choose if they. I was like, excuse me, what? The people of Texas should have the right to choose if they wear a mask or not, but a woman can't choose to
What to
have
do
an
with her
abortion.
body? Yeah.
What to do with her body?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How backwards is that, man?
And the thing is that he talks like that without even batting an eye.
Yeah, I mean, there's no, I mean, the cruelty is the point. That's the point. Is the cruelty?
And I wonder how his wife feels about this.
I'm sure probably not. Probably no different. I mean, I don't know if he's married or not. I don't know if he is or not. But
Yeah, I
you
guess I'm
know,
just assuming now. But
yeah. So I mean, if he is married, I mean, I'm sure it's probably her thought processes is no different than what his is, because you have a lot of women who feel the way he feels about abortion. You have a lot of women that feel that way, that abortion is wrong and this, that, and the third. Which, I mean, that's your right. But I mean,
I would love to have one of those women on the show because I would love to just try to see their insight on why they think it's a good idea for the government to provide laws to control, you know what I'm saying, your body. I would love to hear. I'm pretty sure I won't agree with their logical reasoning, but I just want to hear and understand or try to attempt to
right.
understand their process, their thought process as far as them being for this law. It's the most bizarre and crazy, but sadly expected thing that they've
I
Texas
mean,
government's come up with yet.
out of all the things that you go after, this has been one of, since Reagan. I mean, even before that. I mean, abortion wasn't a big topic until Ronald Reagan come around,
Mm,
and Republicans, they really are not on. We want to fix things. We want to find
right.
let's find a problem and let's expose. Well, not expose, but blow it up to the point, to a proportion where we make it a topic, like a hot topic. That's what they do. It's not about getting results or making things better. It's about taking a somewhat maybe controversial issue and blowing it up to a point where it's a talking point, basically.
But you know what? And I'm not trying to change the subject or make a hard left somewhere into Never Never Land. But a lot of times when they do that tactic, it's like smoke and mirrors. Like there's something else going on that they don't want us to know about. I know the focus is on abortion, okay, but I'm just saying a lot of times when things like that happen, when they take a topic and just blow it up and make it, like you said, a talking point, there's something else that the other hand is doing that the people at large don't know anything about because everybody's upset and then rage over this thing when they got something else going on. But
yeah, it's man, it's sad. It's really sad that came about. And then on top of that, the SCOTUS sided with them. The Supreme Court sided with them.
well, that does not surprise me because
Well, I
most
mean,
of
it's
them
not.
are
Yeah.
Severe right wing too. So
Yeah.
well, I guess you could say it was surprising because the last couple of decisions they made were not right wing decisions. So I don't know. It's
Well, when it come to abortion, I mean, that's why they were put those, um, especially the last two justices that were put through. That's why, they were put there, because they were, you know, for pro-abortion. I mean, against against abortion, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why they were put on the SCOTUS. So it's just, my question is, what's next? What do they go after next? Brown versus the Board of Education? What's the next domino that's going to fall?
Right.
I mean, because if the Supreme Court is siding with this, what else will they decide with? Or what else will they side with? I mean, you know what I'm saying? And that's really scary, because especially with Texas being the leader of producing educational books. That's where the majority of schools get their books, is from a company in Texas. And so they've already started, trying to rewrite history, yada yada yada, in the school books.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if this abortion law holds, will they go after Brown versus Board of Education? I mean, it's a legit question.
It is. I mean,
It's
to me, it's no different than, it's just an extension of old boy that was in office previously, rolling back, laws that provided equality for everybody. It's like they're just continuing what he was doing, just continuing to roll back stuff, and it's like you're creating more division than you are unity. But what's the point behind all of this?
It's about control. I mean, we've talked about this before. It's about controlling people. That's what it's about. And what's really mind-boggling to me about this law is, and people that side with that law, is that you are so concerned about the baby before it's born, but when it's born, you don't give a damn about that baby.
Mm-hmm.
You'll cut school lunches. You'll cut Medicare, Medicaid, anything that helps the child after it's born.
Head Start, yeah, all
Head
that.
Start. They've cut all of that, or tried to cut all of that. But you care about the baby when it's in the womb. But when the baby is out of the womb and born, now you're going to take everything away from the child. There's something that would help the child.
That's part of the control.
That just
Pete, that's part of the control. I don't want educated kids. I don't. If I'm trying to control people, I don't want them educated. And that's what's going on. Look at our school system. Our education system is 50 to 60 years, if not more, outdated.
Oh, yeah.
And they're still using it. They don't want educated kids. They're teaching kids now how to follow instructions.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Discipline and follow instructions. Because that's what you have to do a lot of times when you work a labor job. Follow the instructions.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I need you to do. I don't need you to think. I'll do that. I just need you to do A, B, and C. And this ain't a knock to anybody. What I'm describing is the educational system. And I feel like this plays a part into the control of abortion. We need our population to grow, but I don't need a lot of educated people.
Mm.
We control the thinking at the top.
Right.
We just need the labor.
Right.
And that's why a lot of times it's like you really have to be diligent with your kids as far as education is, like teaching them how to think, teaching them to reason and challenge. Well, why is it like that? You have to think beyond past what they're telling you. And that's not being taught in schools today. But I'm not trying to get off track, but I'm just saying that's a part of the abortion issue. They need more kids. You know what I'm saying? Because they need their population, but we just don't need a lot of thinkers.
Yeah, we're in a bad place as a society. It's in this country. I mean, it's funny that they just passed a law in Texas where you don't need a gun license to open and carry. So
it's the wild west down there now.
Basically, you can open and carry. You can carry a gun without a permit. Just have a gun and walk around with it. But you're going to tell a woman that she can't control her body. These mask mandates, it's a right. It's a person's right to choose. But you're going to tell this woman that she don't have control of her body.
It's the
It,
craziest thought
yeah, yeah.
process,
I mean,
man. It's
it's again, it's about control and who you want to, who you want controlled.
hmm
Yeah, and
hmm
that's what it boils down to, and that's been this abortion topic from day one. That's what it's been. It's been about control.
mm, mm. It's not funny, Pete. God knows it's not funny. It's really sad. I mean, I really should be crying right now because it's ridiculous. And
Yeah,
I mean, and the thing is, man, what irks me is the fact that these people who are saying and doing these things about the abortion,
hmm
no abortion, and the right to carry a gun and wear your mask if you want to. I don't see how you can do that with a straight face, and I don't see how you can sleep at night. I really don't. I
I mean,
really, really don't,
they've
man.
been doing it for so long. It's
It's
like
like
it's
breathing.
second nature. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's second nature. Yeah, like you said, it's like breathing. So but
Well,
they on their way to heaven anyhow. Okay,
those are Christians, right? Yeah.
there you go.
Mm.
There you go.
Woo. Okay. All right. Well, prayers go out to all the Texans who have a mind and a heart. Hopefully, they can keep fighting a good fight. I do know that the justice. No.
Yeah, DOJ.
Yeah, they are suing
Yeah, they're suing
uh,
Texas over the law.
Texas over the law. Yeah. So
hmm
hopefully that will make a positive impact and get this thing slowed down or reversed or stopped altogether. Because like you said, if this goes through, then what's stopping them from going after, was it Roe v. Wade?
Well, that Roe v. Wade is abortion.
Is it
But yeah,
okay?
yeah,
Yeah. What's stopping
So
them after going after something else? I
like I
mean,
said, going after Brown
right,
versus what? Yeah, so yeah, yeah. What's to stop them from the next law? So
right.
yeah. We are definitely in strange times for sure.
Indeed, indeed. All right, man. Well, let's hop, skip, and jump on over to a few states over to Florida. The
Or you could say,
mask,
most red states.
aka
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
yeah, Florida and DeSantis with this mask mandate. Now, of course, with the governor down there, he's like people have a right to wear the mask. I'm not gonna mandate it, but all the
mhm,
while, Florida is one of the top 3 states in the country who are on fire, literally, when it comes to COVID cases
right.
and deaths. I mean,
hmm
and it's spiraling out of control. I remember when school started back close to a month ago. The first week of school down there,
Oh
thousands
yeah.
of kids came out or broke out
hmm
with the coronavirus.
Oh
And then
yeah.
schools had to, after the first week, I think they had to shut down and go back to go to virtual
Right.
because you got kids or kids' parents who say you don't have to wear a mask if you don't want to wear a mask. And
hmm
you know how kids are. Kids are just big petri dishes. They touch each other, they cough and all this other stuff. And
hmm
no matter how much a teacher in class, especially these days and times, tries to make the kids safer and keep them separated, when you got kindergarten on up to maybe like 5th grade, kids are gonna be kids regardless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just what it is. But first week of school, thousands of outbreaks, and now they're back virtual. And then now I understand that his approval rating has tanked tremendously,
Oh yeah.
um, and rightfully so. But he still, and I think he had the coronavirus at one time and took the same type of medication that old boy in the White House had previously.
hmm
So now I think he's good, but he's still like, I'm not gonna mandate it. I'm not gonna mandate it. So I think the government stepped in and tried to mandate, but the appellate court sided with the governor. It was
hmm
like, nah, you,
Right.
you can't make them. So
Right.
it's gonna be interesting to see, what I'm saying, how this thing plays out because it's really, really bad down there. And
hmm
my family and I, we've got to go down there next weekend for a funeral um, because of COVID.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's crazy, man. And my thing is, if you're gonna say I'm not gonna mandate masks, then what's your follow up? How do you help your state get out of this crisis? It's as if you don't even care.
They don't.
He said, "Why
I
you
mean,
looking at me, man? You don't."
they don't. I mean, they obviously don't care about the well-being of their constituents. Uh, Talking about Ron DeSantis, he doesn't care about he cares about pleasing one person, and that's oh boy, that's what the majority of these governors that's doing these asinine having these asinine rules about mask mandates, that they're doing it for one guy,
Right.
and it's not for the welfare of the
Of the
people,
kids at all.
of
Yeah.
the kids. Yeah, because in Florida, as we speak, in this latest surge, the kids have been disproportionately affected. I mean, they're like the highest.
Well, like I told you, they're
That- that-
petri
that's-
dishes. They go around connecting
Yeah,
with each other,
exact-
touching each other, and
Yeah, so they have been hurt the worst in this last uptick and last spike of COVID cases. So again, it goes back to abortion, the topic we were just talking about. If they're in the womb, they cool, but as soon as they come out of the womb and born, they don't care anything about these kids, and they don't care about their constituents either. I mean, I don't know, Chad. I don't know if you saw, and I can't remember the state where it was at, where basically it was a January 6th insurrection of a school. And like I said, I can't remember the state, but a group of the
you talking about at the board meeting, the school?
no, actual school.
Okay.
The rule at the school was the kids had to be masked in the school. That was the county rule, and that's every school. Well, a group of parents who felt like they could have their kids just walk into school bombarded the school, and of course they had the complexion for the protection, so the resource officers just walked away. And just the couple resource officers that were there at the school that was supposed to stop anybody or any child from going into the school without a mask on, they just stepped aside, and the parents and the kids bum rushed the school. Just bum rushed and walked in the school with no mask on. You're not going to stop our kids from
getting an education.
Get this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So this is what's going on. These children are being taught by people that, you don't have to listen to rules. You are above.
And you don't have to be considerate of other people. That's
Exactly.
the thing that blows my mind. It's like, we always talk about community and being family. And it's like, we talked about on the previous podcast, if you and I are sitting at a bar and I'm a recovering alcoholic, you wouldn't dare order an alcoholic drink in front of me. You don't want me to backslide. It's about being considerate of your fellow neighbor. It's the same situation. You may not believe in the masks at all, and like you and I both said, that's your right. But at least be considerate. I don't believe in this. I don't like it, but I'm gonna be considerate of the people around me because I would want them to do the same for me.
Nah, bro.
It's like the golden rule: do unto others. But it's like, we do what we want to, how we want to do it, and that's how they're doing it.
Yeah, this country's not built on that.
No, in paper.
What was this country built on? The original sin. Yeah, the original sin. So what do you think? And that's never been rectified.
Right.
And a people of a certain demographic, and as like you say, a certain hue, feel that they can do whatever they want to do without any repercussions.
Because it's their country.
Because
that's what they say.
That's what
this is our country.
Yeah, so we can do what we want to do. We can run up in the Capitol. We don't have to listen to your rules and your regulations about masks because we don't like it.
That's it.
We don't like it, so we're not going to listen to it.
So we're not going to do it. Right.
We're not going to do it.
And I keep telling people, I'm like, you cannot have a secure building on a broken foundation. And America started out on a broken foundation.
And it continues.
And I mean, because you started out with slavery. Well, first of all, you started out messing with the Indians, and then you drove them off with the Trail of Tears. You damn near wiped them out. Then you brought us over here and built the infrastructure. And what you take pride in today was because of the infrastructure that was built by us for over 400 years for free. So that's your foundation right there. So your foundation's already broken and bloodied. So even though you've grown drastically over the past 200 years or whatever to become a powerhouse, like Malcolm X said, you know, your chickens are coming back to roost, and that's really what's going on. It really is, and I hate to say that, but it is. I mean, we're more divisive than ever, and it's like you got certain sects of organizations or groups that are really trying to put us back to the 50s, the 60s, the 40s, you know, when they said America was great. But then my thing is, if you're truly talking about America as a whole, when was America ever great? Now, okay, we're going off topic. Let's go back to DeSantis, because that's a topic right there in itself. We need to.
But yeah, it's again, Chad. It's about, you know, it's about, I don't like a situation, so I'm gonna buck the system. I'm gonna show my kids that you don't have to listen to rules. Because I can imagine at that school, if those same parents and kids looked like us, what would have happened?
It would have probably been a bloodbath.
The SWAT team would have been out there.
Yeah.
The billy clubs would have been swinging, the tasers, the shots might have been fired, some people might have got killed.
Yep.
But it's all about what you look like. So these children were allowed to just bum rush the doors, like I said, like January 6th, and just run up in the school with no mask on, with no regard for their classmates, their teachers, or anybody else.
The administration,
administration. That's what this is. This has become.
They just became a bunch of outlaws. They really did at that moment.
And like I said, this is where we're at right now. We're in the wild, wild west. If this pandemic has shown us anything, it has shown us that this country is in a sad state. We're in a sad state, bro, because you got folk out here don't give a damn about nobody. Could care less. If I don't get it my way,
right.
If you don't
do nobody getting it.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't do it the way I want you to do it,
right.
Or if you try to stop me from doing something, guess what? You know, I'm not gonna do what you say do, and I'm not gonna do. Yeah, like I said, when it comes to the vaccine, if you want to take the vaccine, that's your business. If you don't want to take your vaccine, that's your business. But no, if you're not vaccinated, you're ready to play by a different set of rules. Just know that off the rip. But the mask thing, that's simple. That's easy. That's just being considerate to your, like you said, Chad, to your fellow man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just being considerate. It's a mask. It's not stopping you from breathing. It's not, it's just simple. It's just really simple. And again, you've made something that should be really simple. If you really cared about people, you would wear a mask.
Well, but it goes back to making it where the right won this, in my eyes, is when they made it political. It's not political. It's a health issue. It's not a right or left issue. It's a health issue, a severe health issue.
Yeah.
But they keep talking about rights, and I'm like, bruh, it's a health issue.
Yeah. Nobody's telling you you can't go to the store. Just put a mask on.
Just put a mask on.
Nobody's telling you to get vaccinated. But just know you run that risk. You run that risk.
And then I'm not okay. Yeah, you just run that risk. But I mean, there's risks in any and everything that we do every day, all day. It really is.
Hmm.
But people put this virus is I'm not. I just wish that Florida, the education system would get more slick, like they did in Texas, and how they made the mask part of their
Dress
um,
code.
dress code.
Made the
Right,
part of the dress code. Yeah.
right. I mean, sometimes it's not best to go back and forth, toe to toe. Sometimes it's just best to look at the situation and be smart and just think about it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have to do all this fighting. Let's just look at what the law says and figure out how we can make it work for us without bending it. And Texas, that they were very clever. It was a smart
Hmm.
move, very
Yeah.
smart move. So I'm hoping that that Florida will hurry up and follow suit before they start putting things in place to where they can't do that. Because, like I said, Florida, among probably Texas, if I had to guess, and maybe Georgia, are really like, you know, hotbeds. I mean, it's like you got
Georgia,
people that are just,
Alabama,
yeah,
Louisiana, any of
the
those
South,
southern states. Yeah, South Carolina.
yeah,
Yeah,
are
yeah,
just
all of that. Yeah.
they wide open. And then you watch these news reports and people on these ventilators and, oh, I wish I would have got the shot. Please, please, people, please get the shots. Why does it have to take somebody close to you in order for you to change your mind?
And my
Or not even a shot, but just to wear a mask. Why does it take somebody
Mhm.
close to you on a ventilator or who has died to say, you know what? I still ain't sold on the shot, but I can go get a little $5 mask. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
yeah, but it it's just really interesting, the people who have made this a political issue and not a health issue. It's really interesting to see who's getting away with, walking around coughing on people. I saw something the other
hmm
day. I think it was, I can't remember the state, where some woman was walking around the store coughing on people who had masks
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Come on, man, what are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, you know
And
what I'm
I,
saying? Are
you know
you
what?
that stupid? Are you that stupid that
Coughing on people, man, especially if
that
you
that
have the virus. To
yeah,
me, Pete,
that's
and it
assault,
should be a law. No, that's attempted murder. That's attempted murder because if I contract it and I die, you did
bro,
that on purpose. But
bro.
see, that's the thing with this virus. It's like I was telling a friend of mine the other day. The scary thing to me about this virus is you don't know how it's going to react to you based on person to person because
Yeah,
everybody's DNA is different.
right.
Pete, you could catch it. You could be. I mean, I'm just saying this for example. Like you don't work out, you eat junk food all the time. You catch it, you may not even know you had it. You
Right.
asymptomatic, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I catch it. I'm working out 5 times a week. I'm eating, you know, leaves and berries and drinking fruits and smoothies and stuff.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And then it puts me right on the ventilator
Right.
instantly.
Right.
You don't
Yeah.
know how it's gonna hit you because
Exactly.
everybody's DNA is different. And that's the scary thing. And it's like when you see that, it's like, wouldn't that trigger like, yo, this virus is way
It's,
different than the.
see what it is, Chad. People are looking at deaths as the barometer.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these people uh, got COVID in the early stages that
Right.
are still having symptoms,
Yeah. Yeah.
who can't walk, who have
Who
lost,
can't smell?
can't smell, can't taste, have lost ability to move limbs.
Still have hard time breathing.
Yes, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So it's
Yeah.
more than death.
It is.
It's more than death. It's long lasting. To some folk, it's a long lasting thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
broken down their lungs.
Mm-hmm. Immune system.
Has enlarged their hearts.
Yeah.
I mean, it does different things to different people. So we can't just look at deaths and say, well, this many people have died, so yada yada yada. No, there are actually people that's having long-term effects from this virus and will have those effects for the rest of their lives. And see, that's what people are not looking at. It's more than just, looking at the numbers and saying, well, X amount of people died, or this percentage of people have died from COVID, yada, 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 whatever. One is too many. But you can't go by that because everybody is different. Like I said, everybody's DNA is different. Everybody's body's different, and it's going to react
Mm-hmm.
differently to the virus if they contract it.
That's right. That's right. That alone right there was scary
Right.
enough for me.
bruh.
to do what
I'm
I
telling
had to do
you.
for me and
Exactly.
my family. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And like we both said before, you know, to get the shot or not to get the shot, I respect you either way.
Yeah.
It's your decision. But
Yep.
at minimum,
Bruh.
throw
The
the
least you
mask on.
could do.
The
The
least.
least you could do.
And there's plenty of different kinds and variations because you hear about, oh, that suffocates and it's all this and it's all that. Hey, we've been into this virus thing 18 months now. I've seen a plethora of masks,
Yep.
all different shapes and sizes that you can try and figure out which one that, shapes to the contour of your face and gives you air to breathe and talk. There's plenty of different kinds and styles out there
Mm-hmm.
that you can go get, as opposed to when we first started out, all we could get was the paper mask. Now there's variations. People are making all different kinds. So it's no excuse, man. It's no excuse. And the thing is, you sacrifice the now for later. But nobody wants to say, well, I ain't gonna say nobody, but a lot of people don't want to sacrifice at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because it should be my right. It's
Right.
not about right.
It's not
It's not
about
about a right. It's about human decency.
That's it. That's
It's
all
about
it
caring about
is.
this pandemic has showed that Americans really talk a good talk, but at the end of the day, this is the most selfish country.
Mm-hmm. It's
This
funny
co-
that it takes something like this for us as Americans to see, but people that live abroad have seen that for years about America, that we're
Yeah.
selfish, that we're
Yeah.
spoiled. But see, the thing is about America, when you're a superpower, winning all the time covers a
Mm-hmm.
lot of ugliness.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, like
Yep.
I know.
Yeah.
If you're on a team that's winning, that covers a lot of
Mm-hmm.
mistakes, a lot of bickering, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
anger. But when you start losing, when the losing streak starts, oh, now you at each other's throats, you cussing and fighting at each other. The
And
coach is down your throat. But
what's so funny, Chad? This is an enemy you can't drop a bomb on. This is an enemy where you can't send
right, troops.
our troops over
Right.
to defend the country.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the difference. Any other time we got beef with somebody, we're gonna drop a few bombs and kill half their population, then take their oil and oh, I'm sorry. The date is wrong for me to be talking about that, but yeah, this is not an enemy that you can fight. I mean, you can fight it, but it's a human.
We can't
fight.
use right. We can't use bombs and
we
troops.
can't use guns. We can't use bombs. We can't use none of that.
Mm-hmm.
So now what has it shown? It has shown this is a very selfish country.
And divisive too. And we've been this way for years. If you ask the right people, I'll leave it like that. I mean, no matter who was in presidency, whether it was old boy, whether it was Obama, whether it was Reagan, whether it was Clinton, whether it was Lyndon B. Johnson, whoever, it's always been this way.
Yeah.
But when you're providing jobs and the economy's booming and everybody's making money, see, that covers a lot of the ugliness. But it's only a Band-Aid, because this Band-Aid has been reapplied and ripped, reapplied and ripped, reapplied and ripped. And that's what's going on with America until we truly handle the damage under the Band-Aid and put the ointment on there. You know what I'm saying? Clean the infected areas, keep the ointment on there on a daily basis, and truly let it heal from the inside out.
Right.
Then we won't need a Band-Aid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we just want to throw a Band-Aid on and swear we're okay when we're not.
Oh, no.
Like I said,
this pandemic has really, like I said, has really shown what this country is really about. And, I've had to look at people I'm cool with. Some people I'm cool with in a different, I look at you differently now. You know what I'm saying? It's made me really look at folk and be like, wow, you really like that, huh? That's who you really are. So then, you got to separate yourself.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, it's really, this pandemic has really shown that, the lack of human empathy that we have for one another,
The funny thing is, Pete, we'll have lack of empathy when it comes to something like this, the virus, and not wanting to wear a mask. But let a hurricane come through, or because of today, let another big city get hit by somebody from the Middle East over here in America, excuse me. Oh, then we all come together. Then it's America the Great, America the Beautiful.
No,
No. Think
Okay,
about it though. Think
okay,
about it though.
go ahead and finish because I got a rebuttal to that.
At least for a little while, we're all Americans. We're all family. At least for the first 3 to 6 months. Eventually, it goes back to the way it was, but it always takes a major catastrophe like that. But now with the virus, and all we're saying is, okay, if you don't want to get the vaccine, wear a mask. Oh, it's my right. Okay, well, what about when Katrina came through or when Ida came through?
Mm.
Now we're all working together. It ain't
But
political.
were we though? But were we working together though? Were we? Were we really working together, Chad? Really? Were we?
You
Oh,
kill
what-
me when your voice went up.
Were we really?
Entertaining. He said his curl really didn't really quite, you know.
Yeah, I mean, were we really doing Katrina? Were we really together? Because you know who was really affected in Katrina, right?
Oh yeah.
And you see how those folk who really was affected, how they was treated, right?
How they was treated.
So were we really together?
Okay, what about the sacred day of today, 9/11?
Were we really together?
Pete, come on, man.
Chad, honestly,
Yeah.
Chad, when we look at it,
Yeah, 9/11.
we wasn't together for us.
Mm.
We were together to go against them. Guess what I just said?
No,
We
I
weren't
got you.
together for us.
No, we weren't.
We banded together against them.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
And it's always been that way. It hasn't
Yeah.
been a true brotherhood. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So
We'll band together to go get somebody abroad. I'm not saying we brothers, but
Yeah.
I'm saying they
Yeah.
struck our land, so we got to get together and go get them.
yeah.
Now, the thing is, you meet no atheists in a foxhole. Does that make sense? So see, that's how they see it.
Sir.
So when somebody came from the Far East to bomb us, or Middle East to bomb us, oh, we getting together. Because the common goal is the same. That don't mean we like each other. It's just like it's just like this. You got two big time construction companies, right? The heads of each company can't stand each other.
Mm-hmm.
But they got a chance to make $1 billion on this major project in the city.
Together.
So together.
Mm-hmm.
They come together. Look, I don't like you. I know you don't like me. That's fine. Right now, I suggest we hire a third party project manager or whatever, get this contract, make this $1 billion, split it 50. You go your way, I go my way. And they do. That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like you don't like me, but they just bombed us, so we need to go get them.
Yeah.
So we ain't never, I hear what you're saying. We ain't never really worked or been together.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. I hear what you're saying, but I'm just saying when things like that strike, they quick to want to lock arms with us and see we're one, we're working together.
Nah. But yeah, like I said, it's really these last 18 to 20 months, man, has really uncovered what this country is really about. What it's really about. And I mean, but
it's always been there.
Yeah, bro. I feel you. No doubt. We live it every day.
We do.
So I mean, so it's just, I mean, it's par for the course for us. That's, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't, people say and do what they want to do and yada, yada, yada. And so, I put my mask on because guess what? I care about other humans.
Mm-hmm.
I care about, I'm decent. I'm a decent human being. So my human decency and empathy allows me to put a mask on whether I want to wear it or not. I'm going to wear it. I'm going to wear it because I don't want to get nobody else sick.
Right. I'm not, can't even talk right now. I'm so excited. I'm not only caring about the people around me when I'm out and about. I don't want to bring it home.
Exactly.
Imagine how certain people feel when they brought it home and they took out their grandmother or their dad or their mom. Didn't mean to.
Yeah.
But because of them being said, I'm not wearing no mask. You know what I'm saying? Then you got it. And let's say you asymptomatic.
Didn't know it and then passed
Didn't
it
know
on
it,
to
and now you
somebody.
don't
Yeah.
pass it on, and they did.
Yeah.
You know how hard, can you imagine how hard that is to live with? When all you had to do, at minimum, was put on a mask.
Nah.
Cause see, that's how I think. I'm like, not only am I considerate about the people when I'm out and about, but I got a wife, I got a family.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure I'm around, and I need to make sure that they're still around for
Right.
years to come.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what it's about, bro. It's about, it's about, if you're really concerned and really care about your fellow man, that's easy. That's minimum. That's minimum. But we have people in leadership. We have people that's over, governors and in certain states that are placating to one person. And chat, and what's even crazier, the people that's out here saying this foolishness, these governors, they are vaccinated. They
But
got
some
the
of it
shot.
already had the virus and recovered because of the medication they got, that old boy got when he.
Yeah, they got vaccinated.
But see, they don't talk about that.
Mm-mm. And what's so fun, and another thing on top of that, because a lot of these people, especially, we're gonna go back to the shot, according about with the vaccine, is a lot of these people who say they're not gonna take the vaccine, this, that, and the third.
Jesus is my vaccine.
Okay, and when you die, you're gonna get to heaven, and you're gonna be like, God, why did you allow
You to die.
why'd you allow that that COVID to kill me? Fool, I sent you a vaccine.
Right.
I sent you some masks.
Fool, I created doctors to work on the vaccine to give to you to say, oh my God.
I sent you all of that. But okay, now you up here chilling with me.
Right.
So it's just like I said, a lot of these television stations and people of that ilk that pushing this, the vaccine ain't safe and this, that, and the third, have gotten the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
The school that these private schools that these their children go to, require the vaccine.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you said that, because Biden just passed the executive order for a lot of companies. If you have 100 employees or more, you got to get it or get tested every week.
Yeah, get tested. Yeah, whatever, or get up out the paint. However you want to do it. I mean,
and a lot of companies are, private companies, a lot of them are requiring that, you get the vaccine.
By this certain date, you need to have the vaccine, or will get tested every week, or you will lose your job, depending on who you are. So again, I just, to our listeners and viewers, I just plead with you guys. I mean, if you don't want to get the vaccine, that's your business. That's on you. That's on you.
Yep.
But do the least. Wear a mask. Please wear a mask. If not for yourself, for your family members who could possibly be at risk. Your grandma, your uncle, your auntie, your cousin, your sister, your brother, your mama, your daddy. I mean, show some empathy towards your fellow human beings. That's all.
All right. Well, that's it on that topic. Ooh, America versus America.
There you
That's
go.
what this is.
Yep.
That's exactly what this is.
Yep.
All right, Pete. Well, I guess we'll move on to the book of the week. You got one lined up for us, my brother?
Yes, sir, brother. This week's book of the week is Begin Again, James Baldwin's America and Its Urgent Lessons for Our Own, by Eddie S. Glaude Jr. I don't know if a lot of people know Eddie S. Glaude. He's a contributor on MSNBC. If you watch MSNBC, he's on there quite a bit with Nicole Wallace and some other shows on MSNBC. He has several books that are really good, but this is his latest book. The title again is Begin Again, James Baldwin's America and Its Urgent Lessons for Our Own, by Eddie S. Glaude Jr., if you want to check that out.
All right, folks. That is definitely a book you want to look into. So Now that we have our book of the week, we're going to go to our Black Inventor spotlight, and we're going to spotlight Mr. Frederick McKinley Jones. He was born in May 17th, 1893, died later on in February 21st, 1961. He was an American inventor, entrepreneur, winner of the National Medal of Technology, and an inductee of the National Inventors Hall of Fame. His innovations in refrigeration brought great improvement to the long-haul transportation of perishable goods. He co-founded what we now know as Thermo King. Like I said, he was born in May 17th, 1893, born in Cincinnati, Ohio, to an Irish father and an African-American mother. All right. His mom deserted him when he was a child, and his father struggled to raise him on his own. So after he was virtually orphaned at the age of 7, he was raised by a priest at the Catholic rectory in Cincinnati. Jones left school after the 6th grade and left the rectory to return to Cincinnati at age 11, where he got a job, his first job as a cleaning boy. And by age 14, was working as an automobile mechanic. Jones was largely self-taught, and he boosted his natural mechanical ability and inventive mind with independent reading and study. With independent reading and study, and the willingness to seek new pastures in search for advancement against all odds. He went to the Army for a while, worked as a mechanic, taught himself electronics, built a transmitter for the town's new radio station. My goodness. Okay. Also invented a device to combine sound with motion pictures. Oh, okay. This attracted the attention of Joseph A. Numero of Minneapolis, Minnesota, who hired Jones in 1930 to improve the sound equipment made by his firm, Cinema Supplies.
Okay.
So that's how we got sound to movie, by this brother here, Frederick Jones. Now, what Frederick is known for, around 1938, Jones designed a portable air cooling unit for trucks carrying perishable food.
Mm-hmm.
And received a patent for it on July 12, 1949. Now, Numero sold his movie and sound equipment business to RCA and formed a new company in partnership with Jones, the U.S. Thermal Control Company, later called the Thermo King Corporation, which became a $3 million business by 1949. Portable cooling units designed by Jones were especially important during World War II, preserving blood and medicine and food for use at Army hospitals all over the open battlefields. Now, during his lifetime, he was awarded 61 patents.
Wow.
61. Wow. I'm gonna run down just a few of them. I'm just gonna do a few. Let me see if I can find. Okay, there it is. He developed a portable X-ray machine, a movie ticket dispenser, an early radio service for local doctors, a snow machine that attached skis to a propeller, powered snowmobile, and soundtrack synchronizer. Later selling the patent to RCA. Oh my God. So it goes on and on, right? He got patents for designing for the air conditioning unit, removable cooling units for compartments, 2-cycle gas engine. He got a patent for that.
Wow.
Automatic refrigeration system for long haul trucks, starter generator, means for thermostatically operating gas machines. This dude,
great.
Refrigeration control device, methods and means of defrosting a cold diffuser. I mean, it just goes on and on. 61 patents, man. Frederick McKinley Jones, the Black inventor.
And we are great, boy. Woo! We are great.
Yes, indeed. Frederick McKinley Jones. Man, that brother did it, man.
Yeah.
And I remember a company called Thermo King. So he was part owner of that. That is so dope. And I did not know that he invented a device to combine sound with motion pictures. Because, you know, when pictures first started out, it was just, you know, you just seen it with no sound. Yeah. See, they don't talk about that on the History Channel.
Not going to.
They don't talk about this on the History Channel. This is amazing.
Yeah. That's why we do what we do, because
Yeah,
our
that's
people
right.
are great and we gonna spotlight them.
That's true. That's true.
Yep. So
All right. Well, let me leave
Yeah.
y'all with the Bible verse or quote for today. We're coming from Isaiah chapter 55, verse 11.
hmm
And it reads, "It is the same with my word. I send it out, and it always produces fruit. It will accomplish all I want it to, and it will prosper everywhere I send it." So for those believers out there, if you truly believe, go read his word. What he says will come to pass, will come to pass. May not be in your lifetime, but it will come to pass. Isaiah chapter 55, verse 11. And as always, I always like to leave y'all with this quote because I think it's just heavy like that. Well, before I do that, Pete, any last words?
Again, hey,
For
love
the
your
listeners?
people, man. Love your
Yeah.
people, love your family. Protect yourself at all times, man. Put your mask on, man.
Please.
Put your
Please.
mask on. If nothing else, man, that's the minimum you can do. Put your mask on, man.
And in the famous words of Marcus Garvey, never forget that intelligence rules the world and ignorance carries the burden. Therefore, remove yourself as far as possible from ignorance and seek as far as possible to be intelligent.
There it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in to this edition of Our Voice 360, our perspectives, our ways. It's been a doozy today, man. It's been a doozy. I say that because, the abortion topic, I was just talking to my wife and my girls about it last night. I was just talking to them about it last night and what it means. And, I'm not going to keep going into it, but this one's been a doozy. It's been personal for me. So,
Right.
but anyway, folks, take care. Be blessed. Be safe. We out.
Peace.